Elon Musk has thrown down the gauntlet against the Washington swamp and the establishment's in panic mode. The billionaire entrepreneur pointed to the Government Accountability Office report that estimated federal government fraud at $500 billion under the Biden administration. And Musk's target? Simply the massive waste, fraud, and abuse plaguing programs like Medicare and Medicaid. But of course, the dishonest media immediately twisted his word, falsely claiming he wants to cut benefits for seniors. The press secretary shut down the fake news, stating the mainstream media has taken Mr. Musk out of context. He was specifically referring to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. And while Musk and Trump fight government waste, are you wasting money on ineffective pain treatments? Top medical experts have unveiled a solution that eliminates waste in pain management. 100% drug-free Conolidine. Just as DOGE is exposing billions in government fraud, Conolidine exposes the inefficiency of traditional pain solutions. Unlike bloated government programs, Conolidine optimizes your body's natural painkillers efficiently, providing full body relief without side effects. Over 1 million Americans, including professional athletes, have eliminated wasteful spending on temporary relief. After 14 years of research proving its effectiveness, you can experience Conolidine for less than $1 a day at trycono.com/NNN. It's linked down below. Okay. Now, today, President Trump, he was with Elon Musk outside the White House, rolled up with a bunch of Teslas, and they had a little press gaggle at the moment. And that's where President Trump fiercely praised Elon Musk. He said, this man exposed $500 billion in government fraud, scams, and waste. He's saving America. He never asked me for favors, not once, yet critics attack Tesla. They're harming an American patriot and thousands of hardworking Americans. Absolutely shameful. And here we have, check this out. We just found this out. And actually, there was a comment on X in one of my threads, and someone said, are you going to talk about this tonight? Well, here we are. USAID official instructing staffers to shred and burn all documents. This is the email. You want to see the receipts? Here are the receipts. I'm going to see if I can read it. It's kind of hard because it is looks like someone took a photograph with their phone of an internal document over there at USAID. And I'll read it to you. Good afternoon. Thank you for your assistance in clearing our classified sales and personnel documents from RRB. The event will take place all day tomorrow, March 11th, beginning at 9:30. Please meet at RRB 14th Street lobby, 9:30. However, if you cannot be there at the exact time, your badge will be programmed for access for your work area. Shred as many documents first and reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break. If you need to use the burn bags, do not overfill and ensure the burn bag can be closed with staples at the top. The only labeling required on the burn bags are the words secret and USAID in dark Sharpie if possible. If you need additional burn bags or Sharpie markers, please let me or the SEC InfoSec team know. Thank you so much, Acting Executive Secretary of USAID. There it is. They are burning documents and shredding documents at USAID right now. Since 9:30 this morning, they have been doing so. And it is, they are trying to get rid of the evidence. Here's some of the reactions. Arrest something, just like the Epstein files. You don't need to shred documents if you're just feeding starving children. Arrest Erica Carr. The email sent by the acting USAID Secretary, Erica Carr, instructs staff on procedures for clearing classified safes and personal documents through shredding and burning. USAID is burning down the house. Their fully revealed theft and adreno laundering treason wasn't enough. Now they're going to destroy the evidence. What part of we have it all do they not understand? Trump should stop USAID employees from shredding evidence of corruption. Luckily, all electronic messaging has been captured by the good guys. We have and will continue to get it all, so go ahead and send emails, you idiots. Marco Rubio tagged. Of course, he is is overseeing USAID. Do you know what your subordinates at USAID are doing at work today? Yeah, you don't need to shred documents if you're just feeding starving children. But now we have it out there. America has been notified. And we have this, speaking of waste, fraud, and abuse, Americans for Public Trust filed an ethics complaint against Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for using taxpayer funds for campaign purposes. Records show AOC made several troubling payments, including $3,700 to Juan D. Gonzalez and $850 to Bombazo Dance Company Incorporated. Here's the main headline that Fox just put out a couple hours ago. AOC slapped with ethics complaint over troubling expenses made to a dance company. Both expenditures described as being used for training. Yeah, sure it was training. And here we have this. Here's another big headline from Trump War Room, calling it insanity. DOGE has discovered there are 2 times as many government credit cards as government employees. The insane spending spree, government bureaucrats have grown accustomed to it. It is about to end. There's the headline right there. DOGE and agencies cancel 200,000 federal government credit cards. Holy cow. DOGE says federal agencies spent $40 billion using credit cards in fiscal year 2024. And here is the official statement from DOGE. The weekly credit card update. Pilot program with 16 agencies to audit unused or unneeded credit cards. After 3 weeks, 200,000 cards have been deactivated. Great progress this past week by HHS Gov and Interior. As a reminder, there were 4.6 million active cards / accounts, so there's still more work to do. And just like DOGE has promised, the transparency, here are the receipts. Commerce, Treasury, Interior, USDA, NASA, HHS, DHS, State, Social Security Administration, travel card initiatives, P-card initiatives. I mean, they're just these credit. I mean, what is going on? 200,000 credit cards being canceled because they are only contributing to the waste. $40 billion. Unreal. Okay, so here's the moment in that press conference where the press secretary shut down the fake news about Elon Musk.
Entitlement spending. I want to ask about some comments Elon Musk made yesterday. He said that there is $500 to $700 billion in waste and fraud and entitlement spending. He called it, quote, the big one to eliminate. Earlier this month, he also referred to Social Security as a Ponzi scheme. Should Americans expect changes, big changes, to Social Security and Medicare?
President Trump has been unequivocally clear on this. He is going to protect Social Security and Medicare benefits and Medicaid for hardworking Americans who paid into these entitlement programs and deserve those hard-earned benefits. And unfortunately, the mainstream media has taken Mr. Musk out of context. I saw a Bloomberg headline that our team actually worked on getting updated and fixed because it was so wrong, and it took Mr. Musk out of context. What he was specifically referring to cutting was the waste and the fraud and abuse that does exist in these programs. According to an IG report from the Social Security Administration, there's more than $70 billion of fraud in the Social Security program alone that we know of. And so the president will continue to protect these programs for hardworking Americans, and actually cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse out of these programs will protect it for hardworking Americans.
Okay, yeah, so don't believe the fake news. Okay, like I've said before, they're going to tell you, oh, you're not going to get your Social Security checks. It's not going to happen. No, they're just cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse. Here is a Tulsi Gabbard parody account. Charlie Kirk defends Elon Musk to a very confused college student.
It went from like a... About Elon, what Elon's doing bothers you. Do you not want to see the government efficient?
The government is efficient. He's just firing everybody. It looks like he did to Twitter. But y'all see what happened to Twitter? But it's racist as now. It's just a Nazi haven. It went from like a pretty accepting place to like what where like the average blue checkmark is saying Hail Hitler. Like Elon Musk himself has replied to like, he did the Nazi salute. Like we're not gonna forget about that, are we?
No, he didn't.
What do you mean? Y'all didn't see that clip, bro? Y'all see when he did that?
All right.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, I just want to thank you for something.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to thank you.
Do I get a portion of like the TikTok revenue you get from this?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for something.
Oh yeah.
you are a perfect reminder
I
why we won in November. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, he got burned. But there's more. Let's keep going down. We've got, okay, DOGE dividend check in the coming week. Details. Uh-oh, what's going on? We have details. Are you ready for your DOGE dividend check?
What I will say is I think the plan will be revealed in the coming week or so. That's what the optimism stems from. I don't want to break any news right here, right now.
We'd love for you to if you want to.
There you guys have it. James Fishback giving an update on the stimulus refund checks or the DOGE dividend checks. This is from The Hill. I'm going to play for you the entire clip so that way you can see it for yourself. But he is saying that in the coming days here, and he doesn't want to give away a big announcement, but Congress is going to be providing something that is going to be pushing this forward, and he is extremely optimistic. So I'm going to share with you the latest news and updates, as I said, as things unfold regarding this potential $5,000 DOGE dividend stimulus refund check. They're saying this is going to be the Donald Trump's stimulus plan. I'm going to keep you guys up to date, and this is the latest that you're going to be seeing that has come out just in about the past week or so, as we are hearing him say he doesn't want to give it away. He doesn't want to share a big reveal or do an announcement, and you heard the reporter there saying you can go ahead if you'd like. We'd love for you to do it on our show.
Okay, that was a whole bunch of nothing. Thanks for that. But I'm ready for the DOGE dividend check. Are you? And let's see what else we've got here. Oh, looks like Mike Benz with Jack Posobiec giving a perfect crash course on tariffs. Oh, and exposing USAID.
That's why, President, you're also saying that that's what USAID was doing. They were expanding the American empire because the American empire was predicated on this idea of global trade. And I think people keep separating these issues, but what you're saying is they're actually intrinsically connected, and that's why President Trump is focused on them so directly here in his first 50 days in office.
They're completely interconnected. They fit like a glove. I mean, that is what part and parcel of the same beast. And the fact is, if you are going to get rid of the soft power potential of something like USAID, you're going to need to offset it by some other restructuring that benefits American influence in turn. And I think that's the purpose of these tariffs, which is that if companies manufacture within the United States, then they don't get tariffed sending their goods here because they're already here. And so this is why I think you see hundreds of billions of dollars pouring in, so that companies, if they have foreign cars, they're going to manufacture them in Ohio. If they have foreign trinkets, or foreign chips, they're going to manufacture them in Arizona. And this creates jobs for the Americans who live here, the American homeland. This is actually what foreign countries were doing to induce U.S. multinational corporations. This is how you have places like Microsoft and others who primarily have their advanced workforce in China or in other foreign countries for cheap labor and then favorable tax or regulatory treatment. Well, we're now doing that here, which is long overdue. Frankly, this should have been done 30 years ago. This was the sort of thing that America dominated the 20th century with its, as Stephen Miller talks about, its manufacturing miracle in the heartland, which then was carved up and became the Rust Belt after all the multinational corporations. The U.S. multinational corporations saw that it was cheaper to simply go abroad for their labor force and to have their commercial business oriented towards the great outside.
This is key. This is so key. We're coming up on a hard break, Ben. Can we hold you over? Can you do one more segment with us?
Okay, let's keep going. We've got more to get into on the DOGE section. Let's go. I love it. I love the DOGE. What is this? Maze Moore. Hey, Elon, do you have room for one more at DOGE? Chuck Schumer might want to join the team. What's he saying? Oh, this must be an old clip. Oh, this is from 2010.
Medicare, if we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse...
This is Chuck Schumer in 2010, folks.
If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. And when I hear my friend Dave Camp say you cannot cut money out of Medicare, Well, we don't want to cut the good stuff that you point out. 1/3 of Medicare doesn't go to patient care. You can't just get up there and say, we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff. If we're going to...
And now he's complaining about it, right? Here we have more. This is the USDA canceling $1 billion in local food purchasing for schools and food banks. How do you justify that? Let's find out what the Trump Agriculture Secretary is saying.
There's another thing here right up your alley. USDA cancels $1 billion in local food purchasing for schools and food banks. How do you justify that?
Well, listen, I think it's really important, and of course the left is doing what the left does. These were COVID-era programs. These were additional funds, and then under Biden, more and more and more and more money. So just yesterday, we're canceling more contracts on food justice for trans people in New York and San Francisco. Obviously, that's different than the food programs in the schools, but it is really important. We spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on nutrition programs for lower income and socioeconomically disadvantaged kids. But the Biden administration used that to often push money out, taxpayer dollars out, that is not reaching its intended target. So that new program that came in the last few years, again, trying to spend more and more money, we're pulling that back. As we have always said, if we are making mistakes, we will own those mistakes and we will reconfigure. But right now, from what we are viewing, that program was non-essential, that it was a new program, and that it was an effort by the left to continue spending taxpayer dollars that were not necessary.
There's unnecessary taxpayer dollars being spent, COVID-era money, and of course the left is freaking out over it. Let's keep going. We have Elon Musk is saying the government can save $500 to $6 billion a year if they eliminate the waste and fraud in entitlement spending.
The waste and fraud in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. That's like the big one to eliminate. That's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year. The waste and fraud in entitlements.
And here we have more talking about the waste and fraud and the Government Accountability Office report.
But I think we're doing the right thing here. There's been a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. When you're part of the government, you saw a lot of that, and there's been if you look at the Inspector General reports and the Government Accountability Office, there have been many audits that have pointed out that there's a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. In fact, there was a report issued by the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, last year. So during the Biden administration, which estimated the federal government fraud to be $500 billion. So just because that's not a Trump administration thing, that's a Biden administration thing. So what we're trying to do is get that number down to a much smaller figure, save money for the American taxpayer, stop money being spent on things that I think very few taxpayers would agree make sense. Transgender animal surgeries, or why are we spending money? Why are American tax dollars being spent on this? The president's gone through a long list of absurd things. Why are the 20 million people who are definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database? Why were hundreds of millions of dollars of Small Business Administration loans were given out to people aged 11 and under, according to the Social Security? These must be some very enterprising 8-year-olds,
And some pretty strong 150-year-olds.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable. Here we have Secretary Turner talking about the creation of the DOGE task force and wanting to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. Sounds like a good idea, right?
So we did create a DOGE task force. We worked very closely with them, with our team at HUD, and they're a part of our team at HUD. Maria, we want to be good stewards over taxpayer dollars. The American people work extremely hard. And I believe, just like I do on my own personal finances, my ministry, my business, and our team does, we want to make sure that every dollar that is spent, every dollar that is allocated from HUD, that it is deliberate and it is detailed. And so we're taking inventory of every program at HUD to make sure that we are appropriately, efficiently, and effectively serving the people at HUD that we've been called to serve. And so allocating or locating, this $1.9 billion in taxpayer money now that has been de-obligated and returned back to the Treasury, that's money that can be used for other federal expenditures to serve the American people. $4 million that we found in DEI contracts. Well, Maria, DEI at HUD is dead. We will serve every American, no matter their color, their race, their tongue, their creed, because that's what we're called to do. And so in particularly here at HUD, we're taking inventory so we can be the best we could be for America.
Amen, man. It's about damn time. God, I love this stuff. I love watching this. Wow. Let's see what else we got. CEO Jamie Dimon commenting on the viral leaked audio clip of his comments on remote work. What's this about?
Opinions about working from home or remote work, and I think many of us, as we think about
and I emote, obviously I should never curse, and I emote. I get up on stage and they say, you what? You're going to do what? I'm a human being, I'm like everybody else. But I was making he had said, why can't the manager decide? And I was like, we tried that. And the managers, I believe in pushing power as far as down as you can. Regulators want all centralized. I put as far to the branch manager, to the trader, with rules and constructs and stuff like that. And we tried that with this, but the fact is they simply didn't exercise managerial skill. Everyone gave everyone everything, including people at my management table, by the way. And I eventually said, I've had it with that. And now...
Yep. Remote work. Here we have somebody... What's wrong with you people mad at DOGE for uncovering billions, believing politicians who lie to you? This woman broke it down. In order to spend $1 billion, you need to spend $1,000 daily for 2,740 years. What?
And what the hell is really wrong with some of you people? All you people that are really mad at DOGE for finding all this money, and you actually believe the politicians that say, oh, the billions they're finding, it's not that much money. I broke it down so maybe you can understand it a little bit better. If I gave you $1 billion and I told you I wanted you to spend $1,000 every single day until that $1 billion was completely gone, how long do you think you'd have to live in order to spend that $1 billion? 2,740 years before you spent all of the money. You could have started when the Roman Empire was ready to fall, and you'd still be spending that money today. And I broke it down. In case you didn't understand that, I broke it down a little more, so maybe you can understand it a little better. The average human being lives approximately 77 years, approximately. If I wanted you to spend $1 billion, all of it, in that 77 years that you're on this earth, how much money do you think you'd have to spend every single day to make sure it's all gone before you're gone? $35,580 every single day. Wouldn't that be horrible? Oh man, I got to spend $35,000 today to reach my goal by the time I'm 77 years old. So the next time.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's how much waste is going on. And it's all getting exposed by the DOGE boys. What else have we got here? Okay, here's more about those DOGE dividend checks.
That they could be on these potential checks that you might send out from DOGE. Is there a concern as you're thinking through this that they could be inflationary?
Oh, absolutely not, because imagine if we don't spend government money and we give it back to people, then if they spend it all, then you're even. But they're probably going to save a lot of it, in which case you're reducing inflation. Okay, so and also, when the government spends a lot, that's what creates inflation. We learned that from Joe Biden. And so if we reduce government spending, then that's reduces inflation. And if you give people money, then they're going to save a bunch of it. And when they save it, then that also reduces demand and reduces inflation.
Okay, so you're not worried about it. And
No,
Mr.
I'm not.
Walt?
Nope, not worried about it at all. What would you guys do if you had $5,000 handed to you? What would you spend it on? Would you save it? Would you invest it? Would you go put it on down payment on a car? Like, what would you do with it? Here we have Tim Burchett calling for jail time because Elon Musk is over the target. Of course, he is a friendly.
Campaigns, that's been informative and very in-depth tweet, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Congressman.
And all you're seeing right now is the graft, and that's why the left is pitching such a fit, because Elon Musk very bravely has stated there is a paper trail, and it will lead us to where this is, and you know good and well that stuff's going to go right out of the American taxpayer's back pocket, right into the pockets of politicians. In the past, we've seen it go into campaigns. That's been documented through some other funding sources. But now I think you're going to see some people should go to jail, and possibly members of Congress.
So possibly members of Congress, because what the suspicion is that the money is going out of the government under Democrat-run administrations, and it could be getting recycled back in campaign donations. Do you have hard evidence for why members of Congress should go to jail?
Well, if they're involved in it, and if their family members are profiting from it, then you're dadgum right, they should. Absolutely, 100%. And honestly, if it's going in their campaigns, it's going into something else. These NGOs are very well documented by Elon Musk. He explained to us pretty easy how they do it. Some billionaire will put $1 million and form some NGO with a great name. It'll have $1 million in their account and have a few prominent people on their board. And then the federal government's looking for places, Democrats are looking for places to dump these tons of stolen taxpayer money into an NGO, and then they take it and they filter it out among their board members and their political friends. And that's the way it works, and he's going to document it, and that's why you're seeing him pitch such a fit. And also, I think someone ought to look at all the young members that are out there on the ledge on this thing pitching a fit about it. All they're doing is these old timers are allowing them to walk the plank so they can do their dirty work, and their hands are never touching it.
Yeah, we found names like, Obama's transportation secretary, Anthony Fox, Michael Regan. Michael Regan is Biden's EPA chief. Nancy Pelosi, Barbara Lee, Gavin Newsom touted a nonprofit involved in this. We have, Democrat mayors like Bill de Blasio, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti. So it's very deep. Obama's OMB aides, his Energy Department people. So, Congressman, your point is well taken. We'd love to get your reaction, please, to Elon Musk revealing the staggering dollar amount that DOGE is finding every day. Watch.
What we do is in consultation with the cabinet secretaries and with their departments.
You know how to read an income statement, and you know how to read a balance sheet. You've had some business experience. I'm kidding, but yeah, you know about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just don't want America to go bankrupt. Savings.
Oh, my goodness, man. Wow. So for decades, the Washington establishment has created a system where they win no matter what. Even when they lose elections, the spending machine keeps running. You heard the list of names from the Obama administration and mayors continuing to cash in from their NGOs. The bureaucracy keeps growing, and there's zero accountabilities for the trillions wasted. Now, with President Trump and Elon Musk joining forces, that corrupt system is finally being exposed. The swamp creatures are terrified because they know their gravy train is about to be derailed. But here's what they don't want you asking. How many American families could have been lifted out of poverty with the $500 billion that was lost to fraud? How many roads and bridges and schools could have been built? Drop a comment below. And show your support for the MAG Avengers by going to our merch shop, link down below, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Yeah, there's a shirt right over there. Elon Musk, Ron Paul. Grab a Next News hat and show the world where you stand with the real news.